Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about Meghan's movie, Random Encounters. Let's get into it. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell. I want to say a big hello to the friend circle and all the subscribers, and then I want to curtsy to the official royal court. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today, and thank you so much for being members. If you are interested in becoming a member, feel free to use the link in the description box below and choose your membership package. It comes with lots of perks, exclusive content, as well as curated content to your liking, so feel free to check that out. So today, I want to talk about Random Encounters. I have been enjoying this Movies with Meghan on Fridays. I'm having a good time, and I had a documentary recommended to me next, so I'll get back to you on that. But Random Encounters was recommended to me whenever I watched The Dater's Handbook. Now, I'm going to be honest. The Dater's Handbook is still my favorite so far. I really enjoyed that. I just thought as a whole, the movie itself was just so cute and so well put together, and I really liked it. However, as far as characters go, Mindy, the character Meghan played in Random Encounters, by far my favorite. She was so fun and vivacious and lively and just fun to watch. This was a fun movie to watch, not as much as The Dater's Handbook, but I definitely liked it. So the synopsis of the movie goes as follows. What seems to be a chance encounter one day at a coffee shop leads to a full-fledged romance, but the couple must fight for their relationship to survive the craziness that is show business. So I could tell immediately what this movie was trying to do. It just didn't quite make it, but Meghan looked great. So it wasn't a loss, but I liked Meghan's character, Mindy. Meghan didn't actually play the lead in this film. She played the supporting character, the main character's best friend, Mindy. The main character was Laura, and she was played by Abby Wathan. The main guy was played by Michael Rady, and that character's name was Kevin. And so basically Laura was on her way to this audition. It got swapped out by mistake for an explicit movie audition. And so she showed up trying to audition to be a tooth fairy in a commercial and ended up auditioning to be a lady in an explicit film, a lady of the night. So that wasn't her intention. And so she went out with her best friend, Mindy, after this audition to kind of gripe. Mindy immediately comes off as carefree, fun, living it up. She's in LA to do what people go to LA to do. Get good jobs, try to break into show business, but overall have a damn good time. And the entire film, Mindy is just kind of like in and out of their apartment with guys, hot guys too. Mindy was like, oh, no. You've got to be yay tall and look good here to ride this ride. So Mindy was bringing them in and out, but they were some lookers. It looked like a runway show. I was like, you know what? Mindy's providing the eye candy for this movie, so I'm not mad at her. But it was so different than obviously who we know Meghan to be, which is a testament to her acting, but she was fun to watch. It was hilarious. So right off the bat was like, I'm here for the fellas. And there was a wide array and a variety. And every scene, the way they came in and the way they left was actually very funny. Like some of them she was nice to, some of them she was not, some of them she was just like, oh yeah, bye. But I look at Mindy and I say, this is what good movies are made of. Funny characters. You want dynamic characters. You can't play yourself. You need to be in character. And who we know Meghan to be is the very opposite of Mindy's character. So it was actually a lot of fun to watch her play this role. I was always really tasteful, so it wasn't like this big deal, but it was just surprising because I really didn't know what I was in for. Now, what I am going to say about Random Encounters, they're smart. Once Meghan got even more famous and she became a royal, they started changing the way they marketed the film many years later. So the movie came out in 2013. She got married in 2018. But when she started going public with Prince Harry in 2016, they changed the byline. It went from something like random encounters or a chance at fate, and then later it was like royal bliss for random encounters. It was like they changed it to always include royal. Meghan is a supporting character, but all of their marketing has her as like the biggest person and the biggest presence on all of the marketing. So they immediately capitalized off of this film with her being a royal, and that was smart. The film itself was, I'm gonna say the thing that I always say, out of all those handsome men that y'all trotted in and out, y'all couldn't have picked a better leading guy. Michael Rady is actually very handsome, but at this point in his life, he just didn't sell me on main character guy. Again, I always say this: if you're going to have a rom-com or a romance film, the woman has to be someone that women can identify with, and the guy has to be someone a woman could see herself falling in love with. You can't have these very specific type of people playing in rom-coms. Why do you think rom-coms with Katherine Heigl and J-Lo did so well? It's because women identified with them. They were funny, but then the guys that they put opposite of them were also very handsome, except for in the Backup Plan, J-Lo's movie, The Backup Plan. That guy, what were they thinking? Anyway, so right off the bat, they weren't selling me on Kevin. They met at a coffee shop. She spilled coffee on him. And right off the bat, I was just like, Kevin's a no. It's a no for me, dog. But I liked Laura. She was sweet and she seemed really innocent. She kind of came off a little judgmental. I wasn't a fan of that. Now, I am not a person who trots men in and out of my house, but I do have friends who live their life their way. As long as they're being safe, I do not care. But I'm not gonna sit there and judge them and side eye. It was giving haterific. And so Mindy was trying to help Laura come into the new age and like date someone. Start off her profile with "to whom it may concern." So you're seeing what we're dealing with. A stone cold idiot. So anyway, Laura was not fun to watch. I don't think she made a good leading character. If you were going to have the roles properly in place, you would have had Meghan at the lead, because Meghan is really beautiful. She's charismatic, but she captures the audience. Laura, the lady who played Laura, was giving very much so supporting actress energy. She wasn't even exciting. And then they really didn't do a good job of giving us her motivation. She basically wanted to meet someone in like a really organic way, but she was living in LA. And then at one point she was like, "My goal is to get to the Hollywood sign." Girl, you're like 30. You're not 16. Like, I need you to get a job, and I need you to have some real motivations. Like, even if her job was acting, I didn't see any of that motivation for acting. She just kind of seemed like, I don't know. They oversold us in some aspects. So, like, when she met Kevin, it wasn't even this particular energy between them. They should have gotten someone with chemistry. There's this movie with Nick Jonas in it, and he's playing this next door neighbor who falls in love with his neighbor's wife, and then eventually she manipulates him. But those two had some serious chemistry throughout the entire film. Now, she was an awful actress, but they actually seemed like I could see them liking each other for real. And you need that to sell me on a rom-com. You need someone who is attractive, who has chemistry, and is fun to watch. Like, there's a reason why like Katherine Heigl is really good at rom-coms, because she's fun to watch. Even in scenes by herself, she keeps the audience engaged and she's funny. Now, I will say 27 Dresses is my favorite rom-com with Katherine Heigl in it. The energy between her and James Marsden, I wanted them to get married so bad. I did. Now, I'll be honest, James Marsden, every time, if you put him as the leading guy, you have at least one ticket sold. Me. I have loved James Marsden my whole life. And I'm a huge fan of Katherine Heigl. So when they played opposite one another in 27 Dresses, oh, you had me. And that's such a phenomenal movie. But the reason the story worked is because you wanted them to be together. She is this beautiful, successful, hardworking woman, and he is this handsome knight in shining armor. He's got that beautiful hair, those beautiful eyes, and he's charismatic and funny. He challenged her, but in a nice way, and he showed interest. You want them to work. You root for them. This movie, the main characters, they're just kind of like, we love each other all of a sudden. They really tried to make us think that she spilled coffee, burned the pole man's nipple off, and then we're supposed to believe they're in love. No. So I had a hard time rooting for them. The whole time I was just like, Mindy go with. Show me Mindy. The whole time, every time it was a Laura scene by herself, I was just like, okay, let me check my email. I could not stay engaged. Sorry, she's just not a great leading actress. They really should have had somebody else play that role. But overall, there's a twist. So the whole movie, the main character Laura and the guy she met, Kevin, they can't stop thinking about each other after this chance encounter at the coffee shop. And then they're trying to find each other, but they have no information on one another. So they both do different things. So like, he knows that she's an actress because he saw her costume. So he tries to get his agent friend to put out a casting call so that maybe she'll show up to the casting call. And then she tries to find him on like social media or on a dating website. And she's like looking for guys, and she places an ad like, did I spill coffee on you? If so, meet me here. And she's like just going round after round meeting these guys, and none of them are him. So then they decide to kind of get their mind off of it. The ladies do. So they go to the club. They're partying. She meets this girl who recently gotten dumped. And so she doesn't want to leave the girl alone. So she escorts this stranger who she's just being cared for home, while Mindy makes her way into VIP, and she meets this guy who just recently dumped his girlfriend who was in the bathroom crying. She meets him in VIP. She pitches woo and gets him in her trap. And it turns out to be Kevin. The guy from the coffee shop. So Laura, main character, she gets the stranger girl home, not knowing that the girl she's helping is the girl that was recently dumped by the guy she's been trying to find. Mindy does not realize that the guy she's trying to help her friend find is the guy that she got in her bed. He goes home with Mindy, and he can't go through with it. So they just sleep through the night. The next morning he gets up and goes to the restroom, walks out. Laura walks out of her bedroom, and they meet in the hallway, and they're both just like, oh. Laura assumes that he slept with her roommate, Mindy. Mindy doesn't know any of this is going on. So she comes out and is like, girl, how was your date? Blah, blah, blah. And Laura is just like accusing her of sleeping with Kevin. And she was like, it was Kevin. That was the man. It was him. And Mindy's like, oh, well, you assuming we slept together, girl. I didn't knock him down. And so they're trying to find each other some kind of way. Everybody's in a car. Everybody's going in some kind of direction. Boom, boom, boom. They find each other on a mountaintop. Laura and Kevin kiss. Mindy saved the day. Deuces. So here are my thoughts.
Terrible sandwich, by the way.
Thanks for letting me know.
Really terrible.
And the reason is, you did not sell me on the main couple. If you're going to put a movie in my face and tell me that it's good, I'm gonna believe you. And you guys disappointed me. The director was Boris Undorf. First of all, who ends a movie like that? They kiss and it was like, okay, bye, leave, turn it off. It was not entertaining at all. They didn't leave us with anything. They gave us a clip of some kind of news broadcast that did not really connect to the story for me, so I just ignored it. Boom, zoomed right past it. I'm not a loyal watcher. Once you've lost my attention, I'm gone. They didn't have the scenes that didn't have Meghan in them. I wasn't into. I really was looking forward to this leading guy, because on like on Rotten Tomato and then online, the pictures that I saw of him, I was like, oh, they got a handsome leading guy. This is gonna be fun. He just didn't sell me in the photo, in the movie. And throughout the entire movie, he's like being the worst boyfriend. So when he meets Laura in the coffee shop, he already has a girlfriend. And the whole movie, they're trying to convince us that she's just this dumb girl, that he's over it with her and he doesn't want to be with her. He's just biding his time. Let me tell you something. If I meet you and you give me the time of day, and I find out you had a girlfriend at home, I'm not going to be impressed by that. I'm going to see you as the douchebag that you are. You should not even be thinking about me if you are already in something with someone else. If you are open to taking new suitors or taking a new date, then you need to end what you're already in, because you're making the transition without closing the door first. And that tells me a lot about your character. So the whole time they're trying to make it seem like he's just in this relationship that's going nowhere, but really he's being a total jerk to this girl. Mindy dodged a bullet. Mindy dodged a bullet because he wasn't a good guy. If he was a good guy, he never would have entertained Laura until he was done with his girlfriend. And honestly, scratch all the interactions with Laura. If he was over his girlfriend, then he would not have even been with her anymore. He would have dumped her because he didn't like her anymore. Not because there was someone else. He would have dumped her because he didn't like her. And to be fair, she didn't just get dumb overnight. So he would have never dated her. So I already didn't like him because it was clear that he was a screwball. He was not a good guy. And he was trying to push up on Laura and knock her down when he wasn't even into her. When he already had a girlfriend. That tells you everything you need to know about a person. I am not one of those people who buys into fairy tales. I do not believe that if I meet you and you are in a relationship, suddenly I swept you off your feet and showed you what you never had at home. And now you can't stop thinking about me. No. There shouldn't have even been space in your brain for someone new if you are already occupied. Occupado, stall not available. If you see me and I sweep you off your feet, that means you had left that space open in your brain that someone could possibly sweep you off your feet that day. The reason I know this is because I've been married for 6 years, been with my husband for 10 years total, and I have never met anyone who's made me even think twice about anything romantic. And I'm pretty sure some of the people I've met in my life since I've met him have been handsome or have been attractive or have been funny or something. I just don't see it. I ain't thinking about it. My brain isn't even wired to accepting a suitor because I'm already occupado. So if you're serious about the person you're with, you're not even about to notice anybody on that level. You're not even finna entertain the thought. And if you are entertaining the thought, then you need to do the inner work so that you can go ahead and break things off and be real with your spouse. You don't have to wait for a new person to come into your life so you can break up with the person you're with. That's shady. Why do you need, this isn't a job. You can totally just be single. Like, you don't have to wait for someone to be like, well, you know, I can't get out of this until somebody scoops me up. You a grown man. If you didn't like your girlfriend, you should have never dated her because I know she didn't get dumb overnight. So the movie tried to make us feel like he was just this victim of his relationship when really he was a dirty dog. How do you drive a woman to the club, break up with her, leave her in a bathroom by herself, and then don't even make sure she has a ride home? And then he went home with someone else while thinking of someone else. He went home with Mindy, but he was still thinking about Laura, but he had just broke up with his other girlfriend. Like, this guy was a jerk. Laura, girl, you wanted this amazing meet cute in this fantasy world, and you just inherited someone else's garbage. Good luck. I want a sequel. Laura's Revenge. This movie was so crazy. Now, I will say this. It was fun to watch. It was so fun to watch. I had a good time with this movie. And Meghan's character was hilarious. She had a different guy every day. She was young and in LA. I said, and that's exactly what you do. You don't sit there with your pint of ice cream because you spill coffee on a guy. Those kinds of movies are meant to manipulate people who move from these small towns to like these big cities like LA, New York, Miami, even Dallas, to where they come there and they're like, I'm gonna hold fast to my morals and I'm gonna wait for the guy that sweeps me off my feet. You know, there's an in-between. You don't have to go straight to streetwalker from having morals. You know, there's an in-between where you can just get to know people and you can date around. You don't have to marry everybody. You don't have to sleep with everybody. And you don't have to meet everybody in this big fantastic way with all this pomp and circumstance. You can totally just bump into people and get to know people. And you can totally go to speed dating. You can get set up on blind dates. You can go to online dating. There's no shame in how you meet your partner. And these kind of movies are like, they're geared towards those women or those people who come from these small towns. They move to the big city and they're kind of like fish out of water and they don't really know how to behave. And so they're like shaming other people who are dating around. We don't even know if Mindy was sleeping with all these men. We know that Mindy would take them in her room, but the girl was always in the common areas. It was probably no privacy. Girl, go get you some business. Laura just didn't have any business. Laura rarely left the house unless it was with Mindy. Mindy was probably tired of Laura staying there. Mindy seemed like she had this great job, this great life, this apartment. Mindy was living the Sex and the City fantasy. And then here come Laura, acting like Sinclair from Living Single. Oh, really? No, I don't want to date. I want to wait for a guy. No, get out the house. At one point, Mindy puts on a real cute mini dress and a very early 2010s hairstyle and necklace, that big chunky pearl necklace, takes her to the club where they're playing gangster rap, and it's like, here girl, find a man, I'm going to VIP. Like, she actually had to teach Laura how to be out the house. Laura was like, so do guys just come over and dance with us? And Mindy's like, girl, we can dance, we don't need a guy for that. Like, girl, it's okay to have fun with your friends. Everything is not about a guy. I cannot stand going out with people, but especially women, their whole motivation is like, where the guys at? Where are guys? What are the guys doing? It's like, okay, girl, we can have fun. It doesn't have to be about men. First of all, Meghan should have had the leading role. I don't even think Abby Wathan should have been in this. They should have had someone else that was more endearing. They should have had a better leading guy. The story was fun, but it was kind of all over the place. They really should have streamlined it a lot better. And they should have made Meghan the main character. She was way more like enthralling and fun to watch than, no offense to Abby Wathan, but she was way more interesting than Abby Wathan. Abby Wathan just sat around the whole movie like this. Like, that's all she did, was just sit around and blink and cry. It was just so frustrating. I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, can we do a Walking Dead crossover? And can you guys just, I'm over her. So anyway, those are my thoughts. If you've seen Random Encounters, please tell me what you think about this movie, because I watched it and I had so many thoughts. I'm ending it here so that I don't just go on like a rant. But yeah, Mindy was the only one worth watching. Tell me what you thought about the movie. What did you think about Meghan's character? This was a very risque character. I had a good ass time watching this watching this movie. So please tell me your thoughts on the movie itself and Meghan's character. I'm excited to hear that. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell. And if you're interested, use the link in the description box below to join a membership, and you'll get lots of cool perks as well as exclusive content. Once again, thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget, Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, I have another live coming to you straight from here. So we'll have a live video, a live discussion, and I will be posting that soon, so you'll know the discussion topic. So come ready to chat, and I will see you next time. Bye.